Section 10, disclosures, my favorite part. Disclosures are the most important. I say a lot of things are the most important. I should say that disclosures are one of the most important things in a transaction because it releases liability of everything, of all parties, okay? So it releases liability of the agents involved and the seller, and it gives the buyer the information they need. So if it's transparent, if it includes material defects of the property, that needs to go to the buyer. The buyer can make an educated opinion on it. They can make an educated decision, and they can purchase the house knowing that they need to do these things, or they can make an educated decision to cancel the deal. And as an agent, I know you're probably thinking you want this closed no matter what, but you have to. We sign a code of ethics as realtors, okay? That we are doing business and working this transaction for the highest good and for the buyer and seller's highest good. We are working for them. We want to make sure this is a win-win, okay? That's a code of ethic. So that being said, disclose, disclose, disclose. It's the number one way to limit and mitigate risk in a transaction. So this just explains it. What is radon gas? Anything permit related, mold, flood zone, elevation certificate. I mean, that's super important in Florida, okay? Energy brochure, lead-based paint. Any house that was built before 1978 is going to need that lead-based paint disclosure. If the seller doesn't know anything about the lead-based paint in the house, or if there is any, the seller just clearly says that, okay? Homeowners Association community disclosure, the buyer should not execute this contract until they've received and read the homeowners disclosure. Yes. This is a hot topic all across the nation. Homeowners associations have a whole lot of rights, and I know there's like reform going on in other states, and it's just a big deal because when you purchase a house there, I mean, you could go, if you don't pay your HOA dues, you could go into foreclosure. So it's something that you need to understand everything about before purchasing this property and committing. You are committing to that HOA, okay? Disclosures continue. So here we go. So property tax disclosure for an investment. This is highly applicable in probably South Florida, anywhere in Florida that a foreign national is a party to this transaction. Seller disclosure, that is that's the key. That is key. If the seller knows anything about this property, just put it on the sheet. Disclose what you know. So there you go. Property maintenance. This has to do with condition. So the buyer needs to do their inspections, okay? And the seller needs to maintain the property during the transaction period. Section 12 is property inspection. Property inspections and right to cancel. The buyer shall have 15 days after effective date. That's the inspection period. 15 days after the effective date, or whatever date you're putting here. Of course, making it sweeter for the seller would mean less than 15 days. But in general, the buyer should have at least a week. To do inspections and get a report over there. It takes time because if that home inspection brought up other things, you want to make sure you have time to get those other things taken care of. Whether that's the sewer line needs to be scoped, or you need to get a roofer out there to check out the roof further. You need time to do these things, and you're already hustling to get them out there. So if you can, ask for more time. Okay, so the seller is continuing. Let's see, the as-is maintenance requirement, and buyer shall be responsible for any and all repairs and improvements required by the buyer's lender. So this is a really important paragraph to explain to the buyer and to the seller of what you're really signing. Section 13, escrow agent. This is just defining the escrow agent, okay? So any closing agent or escrow agent. Closing agent usually refers to attorneys. Escrow agent usually refers to title agents. So whoever's receiving the deposit or other funds agrees to deposit them promptly, hold same in escrow within the state of Florida. I mean, there's all these rules here. You can review this.